3715 Willow Crest Avenue in Studio City, California, performing a video sewer inspection from the cleanout on the rear right-hand side of the house by the air conditioning condenser. And we're going to attempt to run all the way out to the city sewer. This is quite a ways coming from the back of the house all the way to the front and then to the city sewer, which may be somewhat difficult to try and get all the way through, but we're going to attempt to. Okay, we are in the backyard. There's the air conditioning condenser and the back gate and the gate that we're next to. And there is our 3-inch mainline cleanout at the rear of the new addition. So we're going to try and run through here, see if we can get all the way out to the city sewer. And this is ABS plastic pipe. It's very seldom that we have issues in the ABS plastic, but once in a great while we do. They're generally 20-foot length, unless they're making turns, and they might have shorter sections in there. And now we're coming up on the transition from this is from the back addition to the front part of the house, and this is transition to cast iron. We got a couple turns in here. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult to try and get all the way out, especially with cast iron. Cast iron doesn't look too bad. A lot of times it has more buildup than what this does. This looks fairly clean for older cast iron. Can't tell the condition that well from the inside of cast iron unless there's holes in it. And they're usually pretty visible holes. Making another turn. And now we're transitioning to clay, which this is right toward the front of the house. And we're at 55 feet. So we'll mark this one after. We'll locate it and mark it at 55 feet. That transition looks to be offset just a little bit on the right hand side, but not in terrible condition. Don't have any roots, no root intrusions. No serious breaks that we can see right there. Okay, the first joint that we come to, we do have a cracked section of pipe, and we do have root intrusion in the first section. I'm recording the video. I have the buyer with me. Artists, you can see at the bottom, you see the line at the bottom that starts like about 5 o'clock, right at the bottom, you see the line?
I see it.
That's the crack going inside, that's the pipe, and there's roots growing into this section.
Yeah, no.
Clay pipe, unfortunately, this is older clay pipe, and that joint got a little bit of a crack to the left. You can see it's almost kind of chipped at about 9 o'clock area. See where it's kind of shiny? And then that line's coming off it right there, that's a crack. So that's cracked. And that one. Okay. Second joint going out toward the street. This joint doesn't look too bad. That's just a little bit of concrete overpour or slag. Not that either. That's in fairly good condition. That joint's offset just a little bit, but not terrible. Going down, it's making a little bit of a turn and going downward. We do have some root intrusion, especially on that right-hand side. It's got a separation at that point, just a little, and a little bit of root intrusion, but not terrible. That's still maintainable at that point. It's kind of hard to see in the turns. We do have root intrusion in this joint, right after that turn, and we got a separation. Kind of hard to see a little bit. Get back a little bit. Right on that right-hand side, especially, we've got some separation in that joint. And then the next joint, we have some root intrusion as well. And in the next joint, we have some root intrusion. Camera a little bit because of the debris in the line. We have another root intruded joint, pretty heavily root intruded. Point doesn't appear to be too bad. We're going to try and push all the way out and wash the camera off, and we'll flush this line out, then we'll pull back, and we'll inspect the line a little bit better on the way back. That joint looks to be in pretty good condition. We've had a couple more root intruded joints. I'm trying to see if I can push out. Nope. Okay. I've got to get some water running to try and help me push this thing all the way out into the city sewer.
Okay.
Because I'm already out almost 100 feet.
Okay.
A lot of turns.
Hi.
This is normal.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to say.
Generally. Okay, we've got water running, and we're going to attempt to push out further, see if we can get into the city sewer. And that's the tie into the city sewer. Now we're going to shut the water off, let the water subside, and then we'll pull back and take a look at the line. It's going to be a little time consuming. When I get back to the 4-inch, because I got to keep running back and forth to mark areas out. But okay, try to get all 3 AU in here. Make it. I got the monitor. You can see it.
You go.
You're good. You're good. You're good. Okay, and I'm recording as well, and audio recording. We are in the 6-inch lateral, or I'm sorry, we are in the city sewer at the 6-inch lateral tie-in connection. Let's start pulling back now and inspect the 6-inch lateral from the city sewer. We've got a little separation in the joint right at the connection to the city sewer, which isn't a big deal as long as we don't have a major break or major root intrusions at that point. It's not too bad. Coming back then to the next joint, we do have some root intrusion, as you can see, especially off to the left side. We have some heavier root intrusion. But that's still not too bad. That
How long is
maintained.
joint?
Each section is generally between 4 and 5 feet. Sometimes I'll put in a 4-foot section, sometimes I'll put in a 5-foot section.
And we hit the cities
of clay.
in the center of the street about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
And
got
that's
that?
where we were.
Okay.
That's where we were at the city sewer. There's a joint right there that looks pretty good. That's a good joint when they're nice and flush and come together. There's a little bit of root intrusion there, but again, that's maintainable. It's not terrible. That's a really good joint, nice and flush, and nice and tight. In the older clay. That one's pretty. You don't have a lot of large trees right in front, which definitely helps. they tend to shift the pipe. That joint looks good too.
That's one darn thin sewer line, I gotta say. I see a lot of it.
Yeah. Right here we got some heavier rooted, but still not bad. There's some more, it's a lot of concrete slag to the right that looks like roots, but that's just concrete overpour. The roots are up to the top left, but again, that's maintainable. We have roots in this joint right behind it as well where we have a turn, but those are minor. Now we have a heavier section of roots, and this has an offset in it right here. You can see where you see the face of the pipe off to the right. Yeah, you see the face of the pipe more toward the top than you do the bottom, and that's just offset. But it's still not terrible. It's not broken. It's got roots in it. Still can be maintained to a point. Now we're coming back. That's roots. Just laying in the bottom. From that joint, they grow. They'll grow upward. They'll grow downward.
It's dark,
And-
wet, and has fertilizer. So
Yeah. Then we have more. We have more roots in
It
this
needs to be
joint.
hydrojetted. And
Yeah.
how much cost?
Anywhere from about $565 generally. If
Okay. All right.
to do it right, to really go through it and do it right, it takes a while. We spend
How much is it if you do it wrong?
about honestly what most guys
I'm
do.
joking.
Most guys do it for anywhere between $250 and
now let me ask you,
$350.
because about hydrogen,
They don't-
really,
Well, you're recording now, right?
It's okay.
No, I'm just.
Just kidding.
Yeah, but it's just a thing. If you hydrojet, most guys come in there with a hydrojetter hose, and they run it through. They'll run it through once or twice maybe, and they're out. They pack the truck up and they're gone. We come in and we run the hydrojetting hose, and then we run the camera.
right?
And then what we do is we set the nozzle of the jetter right where the roots are each time. We'll pull the camera back, hit that spot, go back in and check it, and go to the next spot if we've cleared it. And that takes
Isn't
a lot
it
of
a lot of
time.
pressure on a clay pipe, though?
Yes,
with
it is.
hydrojet?
Yes. Well, if you do it properly, it's not as bad. You can't. Most of the guys come in. That's why they run the hose once or twice. They run it at 4,000 to 4,500 psi. Start blowing joints
Yeah,
apart, but
that's
you get
what
all
I
the roots
mean.
off.
Yeah.
We run usually about 3,500 to 3,700 psi. It
Because
takes us
hydrojetting
longer.
was really for grease and industrial.
No.
For,
That was- yeah, for the
more
roots.
commercial and
Yeah, but
stuff.
for
wasn't
roots,
it?
roots
now,
too.
because
Yeah.
it just,
You know what? You have to be careful.
yeah.
It's great for the roots. Running a snake, you're never going to get all the roots out because that snake primarily will lay at the bottom. Now,
Yeah.
you can't get big enough blades in there to run through the 6-inch and all that.
Right.
Real good. With the hydrojetter, you can hit real good, but you have to keep it at a lower PSI and
Right.
just take your time.
Yeah.
You can't rush it. If I hit 4,500 PSI,
Yeah.
I'm going to blow them out 2 seconds.
That's what
go
I
to the-
mean, yeah.
But I'm going to also blow out part of the
The
joint.
joints, right.
Yes.
Yeah. Displace what's, and the ones
Yes,
that,
you
yeah.
have to be careful
Can
when
I
you're
lift
doing
this up here?
it. Sure, you can. Absolutely. I think I've got enough poured out. Yeah, might be easier for everybody.
All right, go for it. Can you,
Can you see, or is that?
No, can't see it.
You know what we can do? If you want to push the
Is
legs
it-
down,
is it better on the-
if you want to push the legs down and leave it up there,
What's that?
we can push the legs down. If you just
Okay.
push those
No,
legs
you know
back.
what? Let me just do this. Go back to here. That's
Okay.
fine. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Trying to get creative.
Here, let me try something real quick. Let me just see if this will work. Sometimes it will. Now you guys tell me if you can see it good. See it okay?
yeah, it's good for me.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, I can see it.
So all of us going like this.
Yes. If it's easier this way, we'll.
No, that's good.
Okay, this joint's got more roots in it right here, and a little bit offset to it right there. This is coming back into our 4-inch. We're coming up now from the 6-inch. You got a big clump right there on the right-hand side. But the joint itself, from what I can see, that shape. And that joint isn't terrible either. Just you got some root intrusion. Now we're making a turn. We got some separation in that joint. You can see the gap, a little bit of gap.
Where
in
are
between.
we about now?
Now you're
Turn.
right close to the street area, right where the street hits the property. Right where the street hits the property, yeah. If you want me to mark these out, I can go ahead and mark them
No,
out.
I just don't
I
know.
mean, it's up to you. I'll have to run out there and go back and forth.
No,
and mark every little
I
thing.
just felt like we'd gone a long way. Didn't you
Yeah.
feel like we'd gone longer than the street?
I feel like we should be almost.
Well, you have the street lateral. See, this comes in, if you have a short distance and you have a short street, they will bring the lateral in at an angle. Normally, your 6-inch lateral is between 25 and 30 feet. And we are at about 9800 feet, right in there.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're just about right.
Okay.
More than you want to know.
So
Okay.
we're coming back. If you don't want me to mark every joint, I can just mark where a clean out should be
Okay,
later, if you want to do that.
yeah.
Okay. Then we can see everything. Instead of me running back and forth, you won't go through this with me. So that's that area. We got more roots here in the 4-inch a little bit. Like I said, most of them, you know, not too bad. They're maintainable. You do have some cracks and broken sections, or at least one that I know of for sure. That joint looks to be in fairly good condition. Got a little minor crack. You can right at about the 5 o'clock area coming off at an angle right there. That's a slight crack. All of those, nothing to be too worried about. The ones I'm worried about are right by the hubs that are cracked a good distance all the way around. This one doesn't look too bad. A little tiny bit of roots. Now this one, see where that's chipped? Where it's actually bounced
On the
because
right.
of earth movement. And then you see the crack inside it. There's a crack right in.
Right here?
No,
This right here?
Yeah.
show you. Let me point it up. Okay,
Crack there and then
this right here is our joint. That line right there,
Oh.
that's a crack going all the way around. That's a crack going all the way around, all the way through the top. That's where your roots are growing, is from the top.
I guess.
So what happens with these, you get enough earth movement, now you got no stability. Now it's just going to shift.
Yeah, I know
I can
where do you
sever.
think we are now?
That one is not too far from the curb, probably about 10 feet in. If you want, this one I should probably mark.
You should probably.
If,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
If you don't mind, I'll run out there, I'll mark it real quick, and then we can pull back and look at the rest of it. I think the rest of it was not too bad. This is probably one of the worst ones. Okay, give me one moment and I'll go mark this out.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, nice. He's very thorough. I've never seen a sewer that just go from joint to joint or whatever. I know it's quite boring, but he's
Well, you want to know what's going on.
yeah, no,
It tells you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or not.
Well, yeah. Well, what you want him to do is do this, give you the video and,
Right.
and say you have,
Ask them what it's
and
for.
mark it, you have
Yeah.
separation here, a cracked one here,
Right.
and
And
mark
bad
it
one.
and whatever.
Yeah.
So you have like a little
That's
brief
right.
report.
A major digging up everything to get to it.
No, street at that spot, they can fix it at that spot.
Well, that's not as bad, right?
Yeah, no, they're not digging all this up.
And then they did, and then as I said here, you got to dig concrete.
It's not in here.
I hope not.
It's in there.
It's an, oh, right, yeah, the only
Or
way
from there
here.
forward. Because remember the addition had,
Right.
PVC.
So here we are.
And we assume that it's in an area that's diggable, I mean,
Yeah.
like along here.
You said from the curb, so that should be around ground. Right? Everything is all doable. We see this all the time, right?
Yes, we
None
do.
of this all looks good to us. We're like, oh, this is great.
Delicious.
This is great.
I can eat a hamburger
Yeah.
off that.
This is, as far as sewer inspection goes, you're good. You're doing okay. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
I know, it
Yeah.
sounds scary, but we...
Us eat those roots.
Yeah.
They garnish our plates with that stuff. You know.
Oh, you know what? My conference call, I'm 10 minutes late.
Oh,
Did you tell me?
oh shoot.
Okay.
I don't know how to say this without sounding racist, so I'm just going to say it. But if your plumber's not Mexican, you're paying too much for it.
If what?
Your plumber's not Mexican, you're paying too much for a plumber.
Yeah.
Pretty much anybody that
Yeah.
works out.
Yeah. I think you're right. Maybe we can step out of here.
Oh, he's gonna think we lost him.
All right, we're ready.
I got confused my husband.
We lost.
started?
She had to go on a conference,
Oh, did she?
but we're riveted.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, cool.
we're the lucky ones.
Okay, a clean out would be about 1,800, because it's deeper.
Where are you putting it?
Oh, my God.
Oh,
No, it's only about a
Putting it
foot
in the
and a half.
neighbor's
Yeah,
lawn?
it's only about a foot and a half deep.
Okay.
So it's about 450 to 550.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
where was this problem?
This one is about 4 feet from the house and 10 feet from the curb.
And
It's just about right.
how far down are we there?
1 foot, 1 foot, 1 inch.
Did you mark it?
So, yes, I did.
So-
And repairing this, not that it being that shallow.
Can you put the clean out right there and then kill two birds with
No,
one stone?
well, you
Not-
could,
not a
but
good
it's like,
place. Okay.
yeah, it's like 4 feet away from the house in the grass
In the
area.
middle, of the
It's
area.
better probably, we'll see. I'm thinking that you're only gonna have 4 or 5 more feet of clay. Might be better just replace it from right there back to the house and put the clean out. And kill two birds with one stone instead of digging up right next to the house and fix this one little joint.
Yeah.
Section of ABS, and we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, we're at 61 feet.
See, I knew we could get the price of that clean out down.
Not. You're funny.
Yeah.
Okay, 61 feet, that's it. So 61, I'm about 4 feet. And this joint wouldn't hurt to fix it anyway. See how offset that is too. So you're only 4 to 5 feet away from the house. And that's the cast iron that we're coming back to right now.
All right.
Okay,
So-
is there separation or?
Well, what it is, you see the face of the pipe on the right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This.
Yeah, you see that face of
Yeah.
the clay pipe?
Yeah.
And this transition.
Oh,
What it is,
okay.
is it's like this. Like when they put it together, they had it offset just a little bit.
Like
They probably-
the clay goes inside it. Okay.
Yeah, the clay will butt to it with generally a rubber coupling or some kind of coupling, and they just don't line it up.
So that's a normal
And-
connection.
Yeah, not
That's
terrible.
fine.
But that's where the clean out would go. So I put the clean out here, and then just replace that 4 feet, 5 feet of pipe, and you fix that next joint and put the clean out in at the same time. Then the rest of it's all.
Now, what if
pretty
people
much-
talk about putting a sleeve in? What does that do?
You can.
You don't like that, I see that.
It's a liner. You know what? I like it in the street
Okay.
due to the fact that it's very expensive
Oh.
to dig up the street. So
Yeah.
instead, we put a liner. It's a cloth sock soaked in epoxy. We blow it into the line, into the 6-inch line in the street, and we blow it up with warm water and air, and then it cures in about an hour and a half, and it becomes about a 3-inch thick piece of pipe, hard. And it lines that 6-inch so the 6-inch can't shift anymore, and roots can't grow through anymore.
It's 3 inches thick.
No, 3/8 of an inch.
Oh, 3/8.
Did I
So
say
it's-
three? No,
So
3/8 of an inch.
it's where,
I can show you after. I've got some if you're interested.
it's really secondary because you want to do it places where it's too costly. It's not
Costly.
costly. Okay.
On the property, we pull trenchless piping. Trenchless piping is where I would dig for the clean out right next to the house. Then I would dig by the street area in the grass, and I would pull one line through the other on a cable And as that steel head's pulled through hydraulically with the pipe behind it, it breaks the old clay into the earth, out into the earth, and pulls the same diameter 4-inch pipe right through, plastic pipe. Then I only have 2 connections.
Oh, no digging.
No digging, just 2, yeah. And that's less expensive than the liner in the end.
Oh, okay.
It's just too expensive to dig in the street to put a trench. We do put trenchless.
And then
when
you
we
gotta
have
get
to
the city involved
Yeah.
again. Yeah, and nobody
That's
wants to ever get the city involved.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna just go out and mark this real quick. The rest of it is cast iron and ABS plastic.
Okay, so
and everything there
shows
looked to
over
be
for
fine.
us.
Yeah,
Okay.
everything there looked to be fine.
So now you're gonna be doing everything under the house, is that true, or in the house?
They want me to do both. Artist wants me to look around inside, and she wants me to follow the
Okay.
Okay? Try and move as quickly as I can. Okay, we've located this area, and now we're going to pull the camera back out. This is a transition from the cast iron to the clay, and we've marked this out at about 2 foot 3 inches deep. That is pretty close to the house. We are in a planter area that is higher than the lawn, and down about 4 to 5 feet we have that one break in the line that is about 1 foot 1 inches deep. Now we're pulling iron. Making a turn, and another turn, and now we're back up into the ABS plastic. And all of this, these are straight pieces of pipe. Very seldom do we ever see an issue. We do, it's at the joints, and the joints all look to be pretty good. Now we're coming out the main line clean out, pulling out on the side of the house. And that concludes our video sewer inspection.